Like anything in the world's largest whatever is always going to pique people's interest, and that fact is no different when we talk about giant birds. I mean, I could have picked anything, the world's largest dog, world's largest watermelon, but no, I decided to choose eagles, mainly because when you see one in person, it is quite a sight to behold. And also that eagles are just pretty cool. I can just taste the freedom just thinking about them. Hello! Welcome to Brain Spill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and yes, we're talking about giant eagles today. And yes, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the world's largest eagle. And let me tell you, they're pretty damn big. And no, don't clip that. I know you people. Stop. Behave, okay? So, whenever we talk about eagles, I think most people would probably think of the standard American bald eagle. It's a pretty big bird in itself, being about 27 to 37 inches long, with a weight of 3,000 to 6,300 grams and a wingspan of 80.3 inches. And of course, if you don't like numbers and you just want to see it in person, then here is an example of an American bald eagle against a normal sized human being, just to give you some perspective as to how big they actually are. That's a large bird, no one can deny that. However, when it comes down to the larger birds in the world, the American bald eagle is actually a pretty small runty bird in comparison. Folks, there's levels to this. And yes, when we look at the world's largest eagles, the American bald eagle is pretty small. Okay, so what eagle is actually defined as the world's largest? Well, it's not quite as straightforward as simply saying that this is the biggest one. I started looking into the topic, and when I found what I thought was the world's largest eagle, I started writing the script based on that information. But, oh no, your boy needs to get into some corroborating evidence and sources to ensure that what I'm looking at is actually correct. So I did some more research, and a different source told me that an entirely different species of eagle was in fact the world's largest. Strange, I compared the statistics and it started to become clear as to why this was. There are actually 3 different eagles that could be in contention for the world's largest, mainly because they're all the largest in their own unique way. What do you define as the largest? What measure are you using to actually determine one bird is bigger than the other? And, well, for each of these 3 different species, they each have a certain thing which makes them the biggest. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going over all 3 different birds, outlining why they are the biggest, and then explaining what bird is generally considered to be the world's biggest for the own merits that they bring to the table, and how chunky they are. Okay, so my starting point was to go to the guys who know about world records. That is, of course, the Guinness World Records. They have listed the official world's biggest eagle to be the Steller's sea eagle. This bird weighs 5 to 9 kilograms, and has a wingspan of 2.3 to 2.45 meters. Generally, out of the 3 birds, this one is considered large mainly due to its weight, and considered to be the heaviest eagle in the world. Damn, that boy's thick. Also, apparently the national bird of Japan, which is not something I knew, and well, America has their work cut out for them because Japan have the chunky fat bird over here, the Steller's sea eagle. Come to think of it, you'd think that America would have probably chosen the eagle that was the heaviest, as it kind of fits the populace. But the title of the video is not the world's heaviest eagle, but the world's biggest, so surely there's another measure we can use to determine what is the world's largest eagle. We can do a bit more research and see if we can pin this down. The next bird we're looking at is almost as heavy and as big as the bird we talked about previously, called the Harpy Eagle. This huge eagle is largely based in South America, and I mean, just look at this dude. He looks pretty damn cool. His edgy cut just makes him not only one of the best looking eagles, but again is considered one of the world's largest. When a Harpy Eagle first hatches, they are this little cute ball of fluff of white, and when they grow up, they generally tend to get the plume that they're so recognised for. And this can happen in about 4 months flat, so they grow up pretty fast. Its face and belly will be white, and its back and upper breast a very light grey. Over the next 5 years, the plumage of the Harpy Eagle will continue to change until it reaches adult plumage at 5 years of age. And that is the point where they look like the Chad eagles we see here. The Harpy Eagle measures around 1 metre or 3 foot, from the tip of its beak to the tip of its tail. When it comes to weight, Harpy Eagles are one of the larger eagle species, around with males weighing about 5.9 kilograms on average, whilst females weigh about 7.4 kilograms on average. However, pound for pound, they are rivaled only by the previously mentioned bird, the Steller's sea eagle. The Harpy Eagle is so large, in fact, its rear talons alone measure about 3 to 4 inches long, and that's pretty big. That is the same length of a claw of a grizzly bear. This thing could probably grab you by the head if it wanted to with its massive talons. However, it probably wouldn't be hard to miss because, well, the bird is so damn big if it was flying towards you. So yes, the size of its talons is generally the thing that gives this animal its position on this list, because the talons are so damn big. Right, so now we've talked about those two, we have to talk about the final bird on our list, the one which is considered generally to be the world's biggest eagle, known as the Philippine Eagle. And great balls of fire, look at this thing. This boy is massive. This is a big bird. So big, in fact, that the bird is commonly referred to as the monkey-eating eagle. That's a pretty nasty name to be given something. And due to the fact that the bird was given the name based on the fact that it would swoop down and almost entirely eat small monkeys, it's just a very sad state of affairs. There's poor monkeys. Although apparently this isn't strictly true, it's not hard to believe given the size of this thing. It instead preys on rodents, bats, lizards, and any other small animals it can get its talons on. Based in the Philippines, the bird is so big, and when I say big, relative to its length and wing surface, is generally considered the world's largest eagle, weighing in at 4 to 8 kilograms, but with a length of roughly 86 to 102 centimeters and a wingspan of 184 to 220 centimeters. That is big. Here's a comparison just for reference. It's like the Boeing 747 of eagles. And due to the fact that these birds are so big, of course they are very, very fascinating to study and look at. But the sad thing about all of this is that they are pretty much all critically endangered. And many of them are based in places where people are trying to maintain their populations and keep them out of harm's way. With a bird this big, they are of course a big target for anybody that wants to go out and try and hunt one of these things. The Philippine sea eagle alone is only estimated to be about 500 left in the wild. The current status of the bird is one step away from being extinct in the wild, with the population trend on the descent, which means that as time goes on, these birds are becoming much less populous, which can be from a number of different reasons, such as disrupted habitats and travel between different areas, which makes them vulnerable due to their immense size. Although conservation is ongoing to try and breed and reintroduce the species into the area, it's a very difficult balance to make. So, as fascinating as it is to find out about these big birds, I think it's also important to draw these facts to your attention. I could have just told you the biggest bird and you could have gone on your way, but really, when I read this, I couldn't not mention it. And really, the saddest part about this whole thing is that the context we're talking about these birds in, being that they are alive and well today, may not be the case in a few years' time. And really, I think it would just be a massive tragedy if we allowed this to happen. So, I would recommend going over to BirdLife International if you are interested in learning more about the conservation or if you want to help support their work. Cause at the end of the day, we look at these birds in awe and how goddamn cool they are, but do you really want to be the one responsible for them being gone? Didn't think so. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be notified as soon as I upload my next video, be sure to hit the bell button. And if you've got any ideas for what topics you'd like me to discuss next, let me know down in the comments below. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description. The biggest bird that flies into my garden is probably some sort of wood pigeon, so as cool as it is to see one of those from out the window, I'm pretty sure that something more needs to be done to protect these massive eagles that we can all admire today. So I'd highly recommend you go over and check out their site and see if you want to give them a hand. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.